Alright, back today with mail here, and I wanted to share with you what it is. And I believe, this is the envelope here. Kind of weird where the stamps have been placed on there. It's like 66, 233s, that's 66, and a 22. So what's that, 88 cents in postage, something to that effect there. Out of St. Paul, Minnesota. So this is my postage, and it was listed as classy postage at less than half a face. And what it is, so I got $5 for postage there. It looks like it was 95 cents for shipping. So I bought 2 lots here. Hopefully he gave me 2 lots. And at least I believe I bought 2 lots here. And we shall see what we have here. We're going to open this up very quickly. This is just a sample picture here. But it's listed as, here we go. I have a number of nice stamps that aren't quite nice enough for most collectors, but they are perfect for postage. Some actually perfect. Some have small bends, some have been hinged, some have offset printing onto the government side. So it's like baseball cards. If they're not particularly meant, who's going to want them, but they still fill your set there. But all have full gum and are totally perfect for mailing. So let's see what we have here. There's some sort of bear sticker, grizzly bear sticker on the back of it. Just trying to change the backdrop here. Maybe we can... I still haven't gotten my screensaver, or whatever you call backdrop changed. I don't think I need these for my book. My book only goes to 32 or something like that. Because once it hit 33, it just got way too many massive. Too massive. Let's see what we got here. So it looks like there's a lot there, a lot there. So it should be $20 in face. And I saved a little bit of money. Try to get this envelope off of here. Ah, it's crazy. I guess there's a, oops. And what's this here? Gift, thank you for your purchase. Okay, well he gave me some bonus stamps there, so that's kind of neat. So, 4 Scooby-Doo Forever stamps, that's pretty cool. I don't know, it says 13 IND, I don't know what that means, $10 face, so whatever envelope, probably a reused envelope here. But this is the stuff I like to use on postcards. There's an old 2-center there. It's got a stamp hinge mark on the back of it. I don't know if you'd be able to see that. There's an old 2-cent stamp there. That's from like a special little sheet, beach scene or something like that. And we have a 1 cent. These things are cool because you can only buy those in lots of 1,000 on the rolls. 1 cent stamp. Electric Auto, I've used those before. An old 1 cent. See, this is not particularly well centered because it doesn't have a border on the bottom of it, but who cares? There's a flower stamp there. I don't know what that is. I have to look those up. I really hate those because I can't even remember 7 cent. Here's some sort of USA, what is it, 45? I don't know. I haven't seen those before. That's kind of neat. Arizona. And then you get some blocks here. This one probably has some sort of minor damage to make it slightly not mint. Some collectors get out the stamp tongs and they complain about a 5 cent stamp. There's a nice 5-center. Some of these date back to the 30s and 40s. Thoreau stamp there, so that's kind of neat. Hopefully this is all focusing well enough. New Jersey stamps. That's not a valuable block, so nothing special there. So really pretty cool. See, these unfortunately got brown toned. They set next to something that, and they're very delicate, so I have to be careful using those. But those are legit stamps. These are all stamps that have never... United States is one of the few countries that's never devalued any of their stamps over the years. You can still use stamps from day one, but why would you want to? There's a bunch of love stamps. You know everybody loves those so much. A few comedians, I think they're Lon Chaney, John Gilbert, Charlie Chaplin, and Rudolph Valentino. So silent screen stars. I think that's what that set was. I don't know. More stuff here. I may have to do an exact check, but I don't really particularly care because I got those bonus stamps there. Here's a block of 22-cent stamps. These Cars ones are always nice here. See, I like to use a nice like 32, such as this one here, and then I'll add it up to make 48. So here's computer technology. That's a good one there. James Dean stamp. I have a James Dean postcard I might send out. So, and then there's a bunch of really old vintage ones I've used. I think I used a whole sheet of those one time. The Banking Association or whatever it is. And then there's articles again. So all kinds of interesting. There's a very few Christmas stamps in here, thank goodness. Lots of 20s, 2 20s and an 8. Now let's look at this one here very quickly. But people have, there was a guy that went to one of the stamp shows and he said he had like 6,000, at least 6,000, maybe more than $6,000 worth of stamps there. People only bought $200 or $300 worth from him, maybe more than that, but there was no way he was going to sell out of all $6,000 in face value postage. There's a 2-center that's stuck in there. Here's an old 8-cent stamp one, so 2 of those, and this one makes a great postcard. I used to get those all the time. Seattle World's Fair stamps, I think is what those are. Space Needle. 2-center, all kinds of great amounts that I could use. 29s. Then we have some 25s, the popular dinosaur series. That's really neat. Hopefully you can get to see these. But they all have proper gum on there. So check out this seller here. This was just only one of his lots here. Douglas H. What was it? Douglas H. Johnson 3 QWT. So if I think these might be perfect for your stamp books too. Some of them I found absolutely nothing wrong with them. They were just, multiples, because some people just don't really care. I just have this one that has a stamp hinge on the back of it, but if you're not going to look at the back of the stamp, I don't worry about it. There's another 33 of some kind of a Vietnam memorial stamp there. Get a couple of these sheets out of here. Ugh. Okay, this one here is mentoring a child, so that's a good one there. We got Sam Houston, almost there here. We got Sam Houston. We got Alexander Hamilton. You can see there's some damage on the end there. Hopefully you can see that damage on the end there. It's like another sheet of stamps stuck to it, but everything is still good on the back. You may not want to lick those. And then we have these here. This one, I don't know. Some of these 1980 stamps, they were very susceptible to damage. They were very, very cheap paper. Very, very cheap paper. Those get ripped a lot in transit. There's some nice 22s, the Rural Electrification Administration. I don't know if that still exists anymore. Stamp collecting. Somebody think that those are collectible, but they printed 10 billion of those. So they're probably more common now than they used to be. And now with the internet, there's a 32 Black Heritage, Bessie Coleman. I think I have that one in my book. I always have to double check here. You do get a few Christmas and love stamps there, but if that's what you love, and if you like Christmas 24/7, so there's that one there. I really like these prominent Americans, or whatever they are. Famous Americans, prominent Americans, because they're small and they don't take up a lot of room. And they just look like they were designed for postcards. They're very, very handy. I like those. But I don't get those very often, as common as they are. People like collecting the whole series of those. I've used those. I've used probably just about every one of these. I've used that one. I've used that one. I've used that one before. I don't think I've used this one here. That's kind of an unusual 3-center there. But I've used this one dozens of times, if not 100 times. I've used this one. I've used this one. I've used this one. I've definitely used this one. I've used this one. I've used this one. I've used this one. I've used this one. I used these 8 centers before. I tried to find one I haven't used. I've used this one. I've used this one. I've used this one. I used this one. I used this one. I used both of those numerous times. I've used these old overrun countries flags numerous times. Used the world peace. I'm trying to find one that I have. I've used all those. Used that one. So I've used probably darn near every stamp there is, and within a certain. I've used that one. The Swedish Pioneers. I had piles of those. I think that might have even been a sheet. I think I actually used this 33 one time. This Blue Angels, I think it is. It says the U.S. something of the Air Force. Detachment of the Air Force. Not really sure what that says there, but I've used that 32 once or twice. It was a really nice one. It was like a space request. And then that is pretty much it there. So a really nice mail day. All it was just postage, but that will decorate my postcards quite nicely. I know I should have bought more, but I wanted to see what I was getting. And very nicely he gave me these Scooby-Doo stamps. Not making a bunch of money. Some of his other auctions listings, you don't get as much back, but so you got to make money on something. But how he's able to do that, and then he put those on there. And I guess these don't cost very much because buy a huge collection, you have tens of thousands of these things. Your shipping is practically free all the time. So I can understand, people they're not making hand over fist, but they're making enough. So that's why they can afford to throw in some of these bonuses sometimes. Very, very cool. Thank you for watching. Alright, just a little additional to my video here, just a kind of a stamp update here. I meant to add that in the original part of the video, but I was excited I finally got some stamps to come in, and it was really nice. I double checked kind of, you know, with a calculator, and I got more or less so it was all as advertised plus the bonus stamps, and that really helped because I got another 7 requests for post offices put together here, and that puts me somewhere. I mean, I may have made a few mistakes because there were some post offices I sent out or put question marks on, so those might come back shrinking my total, but or ones that I forgot to mark off somehow, whatever reason. But I'm down to 213 post office still left to write. There's no way I can get that done before the postal rate increase, but we will see what we can do here. But here's a perfect example. Here's a Norman Rockwell postcard with 25, 20, and whatever 2. That makes 48, and it just it looks like a grandfather and a grandkid that are fishing, something like that. I think that's what that is. And then here's another one here, just one of my old 10-cent postcards. I kind of overdid it right there, but with the Howlin' Wolf stamp. You know, sometimes I put in usual stamp combinations that might come out to be a good cancel right there if they cancel it nicely that way. We shall see. And then I did the Space Shuttle one here because it's just a shot of Earth. That was in a book of Space Shuttle postcards, but didn't have any value. It was just sitting here kind of not being utilized, so I took that out of the book there and just put whatever I could make there. And then there's this one here. I found this recently at a bins trip here. It had a $1.25 price tag on it for some reason. Very thin, cheesy postcard here with ducks over a pond somewhere. So I'll try to figure out where to send that one there. And then there is a relatively new stamp. That's a 32. There's an 8 and an 8. So that's really pretty cool there. So that is really, really fun. And I'm getting envelopes on the... and this is one that somebody had already put, I think. That's a 13 and a 2, that's 15, and then a very weird Rudolph Valentino stamp. That series is very bizarre. Very bizarre, very kind of like Broadway style, I don't know, or whatever you want to, I don't know what kind of art that is, but they were very unusual. And then a very old, like early 1950s, late 40s, early 50s stamp on there, but that finished it off. So that's just how it has to get done. You know, whatever stamps are sitting here, I don't really care for these purple love stamps because they don't, they're very outstanding when you look at them. They're just very striking. That green and the red stands out like crazy. But it's just kind of weird when you're requesting like a baseball autograph or something like that. I would love it if you would sign my cards. Thank you for watching.